buoyancy and buoyant force. So what is called buoyancy? तो buoyancy का मतलब होता है it is the property of the fluid. अब हम लोग fluids में आ रहे हैं. It is the property of the fluid which exert an upward force on the body when it is partially or completely immersed into it. तो fluid में तुम्हारा क्या आ जाएगा? Fluid में तुम्हारा आ जाएगा liquid as well as gases. ठीक है? तो in this chapter we will study about liquid. Fluid में liquid के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. So the buoyancy is the property of the liquid to exert an upward force on a body when immersed in it. This is called buoyancy. ये property है fluid का, चाहे वो liquid हो और gases. That is called buoyancy. Now the next is buoyant force. Buoyant force. नाम ही लगा हुआ है फोर्स, तो buoyant force मतलब upward force, और you can say up thrust, upward force or up thrust. The upward force, exerted on a body by the fluid में liquid or gases in which it is immersed. So buoyant force is an upward force exerted on a body by the fluid in which it is immersed. ये हो गया तुम्हारा buoyant force. Now what will be the SI unit of buoyant force? क्योंकि यहाँ force लगा हुआ है तो इसका SI unit होगा तुम्हारा न्यूटन, और you can also write kilogram force. SI unit of buoyant force. Newton, denoted by capital F. Or you can also write kilogram force. वो gravitational unit होता है kilogram force. You can write kilogram force, kgf. This is kilogram force. Now the next is condition for body to, that we will study later on. First, see the next topic. Condition for body to float or sink in a fluid. Condition for body to float or sink. Now, in this case, whenever a body float or sink, two forces are acting on it. This is the beaker. Here, liquid is kept, suppose water is kept, and this is an object which is completely immersed into it. Now, in this case, two forces are acting on this body from the center of this body. One will be vertically downward, that is W, and another is vertically upward. Let it be FB, buoyant force, and here it is W, that is weight of the body. So FB is your buoyant force and W is the weight of the body. Weight of the body. Now these two forces will be acting in opposite direction. दोनों का डायरेक्शन अपोजिट और दोनों का काम भी अलग अलग. Weight of the body has a tendency to make the body sink because it is acting vertically downward. Weight acts vertically downward, which has the tendency to make the body sink. Which has the tendency to make the body sink. And upthrust, FB, or buoyant force acts vertically upward, which has the tendency to make the body float, which has the tendency to make the body float. So these two forces are acting in opposite direction. One has the tendency to make the body sink, another has the tendency to make the body float, which acts vertically upward, upthrust upward and weight downward. Now we will compare these two forces. When one will be greater than the other or less than the other, what will happen? Once again I am explaining. This is the beaker filled with a liquid. You can say water. यहाँ मान लेते हैं water रखा हुआ. And this is the body. Any body which is completely immersed into it. Now in this case, from the center, this center, इसको हम लोग कहते हैं center of gravity of the body also, where the whole weight of the body is supposed to be concentrated. उसको बोलते हैं center of gravity. So from the center, two forces are acting. One is vertically downward that is the weight of the body, which is due to the gravitational pull of the earth, and this is upthrust which is exerted by the liquid. ये जो फोर्स लग रहा है एफ बी, ये लिक्विड लगा रहा है, फ्लूइड लगा रहा है इन द अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन, और ये जो वेट है ये बॉडी का अपना वेट है विच इज एक्सर्टेड डाउनवर्ड ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटेशनल पुल ऑफ द अर्थ. तो बोथ द फोर्सेस आर एक्टिंग इन अपोजिट डायरेक्शन. ये अर्थ के कारण लग रहा है वेट, और ये जो एफ बी है बाय द फ्लूइड विच इज एक्टिंग इन वर्टिकली अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन. तो वेट क्या करेगा, बॉडी को नीचे और खींचेगा, दैट विल मेक द बॉडी सिंक, हैज अ टेंडेंसी टू मेक द बॉडी सिंक. एंड अपथ्रस्ट जो लिक्विड लगा रहा है ये हमेशा ऊपर लगाएगा, which has the tendency to make the body float. Now we are going to compare these two forces. First condition is if upthrust is greater than W, then upward force will be greater than the weight. In that case, what will happen? The body will float. Body will float. अपथ्रस्ट ग्रेटर लग रहा है वेट से, तो अपवर्ड फोर्स ज्यादा है, इस बॉडी पर अपवर्ड फोर्स ज्यादा है इन कंपैरिजन टू इट्स वेट, then in that case the body will float, and the figure will be somewhat like this. In this case what will happen, more part of the body will be above the surface of the body. More volume of the body will be above the surface of the liquid. तो ये हो गया तुम्हारा फ्लोटिंग कंडीशन के लिए. दूसरा है if upthrust is equal to the weight of the body, in this case also the body will float. Body will float. ग्रेटर और इक्वल केस, दोनों के केस में फ्लोट करेगा. एंड द डायग्राम विल बी in this case the body will be just below the surface, free surface of the liquid, just below the free surface of the liquid, जब upthrust और weight दोनों बराबर हो जाए. So this is also the condition for floating, greater or equal to. And the third case is if upthrust is less than the weight of the body. So in this case the body will sink. And the figure is like this. Here the whole part of the body is inside the fluid or liquid. So these are the three conditions for the body to float or sink. So we have just compared two forces. One is the upward force, that is upthrust or buoyant force, and another is the weight of the body. Now, what is the effect of upthrust? Upthrust का body पर क्या effect पड़ता है? Effect of upthrust or buoyant force on the body. When a body is completely or partially immersed in a fluid, upthrust acts on it, and in that case, what happens? The body loses its weight. उसका वजन कम हो जाता है, which is called apparent loss in weight of the body. Apparent loss जिसको कहते हैं, which is not the actual weight, which is the apparent loss or false weight. You can do one example also. You can take a mug, plastic mug, fill it with water, and again take another bucket, fill it with water. When you lift the mug filled with water on your hand outside the water, it will be heavy. वो तुमको भारी लगेगा. But when the same mug filled with water, when you lift from the bottom of the bucket which is filled with water, it will be very light to lift. वो बहुत हल्का लगेगा. जब उसी मग को पानी के अंदर से bucket which is filled with water, उसके नीचे से अगर मग को उठाते हैं, तो in that case what will happen? The mug filled with water will appear very lighter. तो क्यों lighter लग रहा है? Because an upward force exerted by the water or the fluid is acting on it, which makes the body lighter. तो body हल्का हो जाता है when body is partially or completely immersed in the fluid. तो weight of the body immersed in the liquid appears to be less than its actual weight. Weight of the body appears to be less than its actual weight. यह है अपथ्रस्ट का इफेक्ट. अब इसी में एक चीज और पढ़ना है कि factors affecting upthrust. What are the factors which affects the buoyant force or the upthrust? Factors affecting buoyant force. First factor is upthrust. FB, I have denoted by FB, is directly proportional to the volume of the body. Volume of the body immersed in the fluid. इसको डिनोट कर लेते हैं V से. डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल यानी कि अगर ज्यादा वॉल्यूम होगा बॉडी का तो ज्यादा अपथ्रस्ट लगेगा, कम वॉल्यूम होता है बॉडी का तो कम अपथ्रस्ट लगेगा. तो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द वॉल्यूम ऑफ द बॉडी. सेकेंड फैक्टर इज upthrust is directly proportional to density of the liquid in which the body is immersed. और इसको ले लेते हैं रो से. डेंसिटी इन द लास्ट क्लास वी हैव स्टडीड, तो इसको ले लेते हैं रो. density of the liquid in which the body is immersed. And the third is upthrust is directly proportional to acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity, capital G. So these are the three factors. तो जब तीनों को कंबाइन करेंगे तो you will get a formula FP is equal to V rho G. V is the volume of the body, rho is the density of the liquid, and G is acceleration due to gravity. One more factor is there, temperature भी affect करता है, but in this formula temperature is not added. Temperature के बारे में अभी नहीं पढ़ना है, just you study upthrust directly proportional to V rho G, volume, density and acceleration due to gravity. As the temperature increases, temperature of the medium increases, उसका डेंसिटी घट जाएगा. टेम्परेचर जैसे ही बढ़ेगा मीडियम, उसका डेंसिटी घटेगा. किसका डेंसिटी घटेगा? लिक्विड का डेंसिटी घटेगा. और जब डेंसिटी घट जाएगा तो अपथ्रस्ट भी घट जाएगा. तो एज द टेम्परेचर इंक्रीजेस, the density of the liquid or fluid decreases, and because of the decrease in density, upthrust will also decrease.